Welcome to another episode of 30 Weird Fun Facts. Hit that subscribe button to stay connected, grab a seat, and get ready to have your mind blown. Let's jump right in. Number 1. A newly adopted dog saved his owner's lives. In 2014, a Michigan family adopted a husky mix named Hunter, who was just 3 months old at the time. 2 weeks after welcoming him into their home, a burner had been left on in the kitchen and was slowly leaking gas for 6 hours. After the family had gone to sleep, Hunter whined until his new mom woke up. Not understanding what was going on, she let him outside, but Hunter just sat by the stove, continuing to whine. Finally, she realized what was wrong and turned off the gas. "He saved our lives," Hunter's dad said at the time. Anything could have happened that night. Number 2. The youngest genius in the world is 2 years old. Mensa is probably the most exclusive fraternity in the world. It only accepts those with IQs among the top 2% of the world. Mensa usually doesn't test anyone under the age of 10, but in 2009, they made an exception for Elise Tan Roberts, who was only 2. Turned out, Tan Roberts has an IQ of 156 points, which is only 4 points shy of Albert Einstein's IQ. Her score beats James Franco's, George H.W. Bush's, Cindy Crawford's, and Hillary Clinton's, according to this list. Number 3. Night rainbows are real. They're called moonbows. Night rainbows happen just like regular rainbows do, by the moon shining bright light when there are showers or storms at night. They're less visible than daytime rainbows, but we imagine that a rainbow in the night sky would catch anyone's eye, even if it's a little darker. So-called moonbows can only be seen when the moon is very full or near full and no other light source is around. The sky must be relatively clear, with just a mist in the air. They're rare, but there are a few places, mostly waterfalls, which tend to be misty, that have documented regular occurrences, like Skogafoss in Iceland or Victoria Falls in Zambia. Number 4. Your heartbeat syncs up with your partner's. Research out of UC. Davis has shown that when you look into a loved one's eyes, specifically a romantic partner, your heartbeat and breathing will sync up. It's called interpersonal synchronization, and it also accounts for that whole "we finish each other's sentences" thing. Your brainwaves and thought patterns start to link up too. Number 5. 3D printing is now allowing blind people to see famous art. Finnish designer Mark Dillian wants the blind to be able to see Mona Lisa's smile, experience Van Gogh's sunflowers, and enjoy incredible historic art just as much as the sighted, so he turned his mastery of 3D printing to the Unseen Art Project, which creates 3D models of the art that can be displayed directly next to the original piece at museums. Number 6. A woman launched a campaign to find the rightful owner of a lost stuffed animal. When a woman found a teddy bear on the train in London, she knew it must have belonged to a child who missed it terribly. To try and track down the owner, she tweeted, "Found this well-loved little dude on an East Coast train at King's Cross. Let's find the owner, Twitter." Thanks to the power of social media, the post soon went viral, and eventually, the father of the girl who had lost the stuffed animal saw it. He posted on Facebook, "Wow, the power of the internet and kind folk. That's my daughter Phoebe's bear. She has been in tears all weekend, and I have just shown her the picture, and she is over the moon. Thank you all so much." Number 7. There's a Valentine's Day for single people in South Korea. South Korea clearly believes in romantic equality, where most of us only celebrate the regular Valentine's Day on February 14th, where men societally cater to women. South Korea also has White Day a month later. On March 14th, women give chocolates and romantic gifts to men. Then there's Black Day on April 14th, where singles rejoice in their singledom, most often celebrated by wearing black and eating a special noodle dish called jjajangmyeon. Number 8. Puffins mate for life and build homes together. These birds spend about half of their time out at sea each year, but when they return, they make their homes on cliffsides in burrows, where they build a nest for offspring. They even make a separate little space for bathroom use. The male and female will join and mate for life, and only one egg is born at a time, after which both mom and dad will take turns incubating the egg for a period of about 40 days. Once born, mom and dad take turns brining it food throughout the day. Number 9. Pizza actually makes for a nutritious breakfast. Pizza is literally better for you than most breakfast cereals, so go ahead and eat that slice left over from dinner for breakfast. When we eat cereal, we tend to eat at least double the recommended portion size, and that's if you don't go for seconds. Standard breakfast cereals contain about 18 grams of sugar and little to no protein, while pizza has minimal sugar, protein via the cheese, and carbs that sustain you for hours. Of course, you can choose low-sugar cereals topped with fruit and skim or non-dairy milk, which will be significantly healthier than pizza. Number 10. Robots have increased the size of the Great Barrier Reef by 50%. 2 research universities in Australia have dispatched underwater robots that have been able to deliver baby coral to the Great Barrier Reef, which in just the last 2 years has decreased in size by a whopping 50% due to climate change. The robot's name is LarvalBot, and it scans the reef, sensing dead sections where it drops microscopic baby coral that has been proven to withstand harsh conditions that climate change has brought about. Number 11. Humans are born with the knowledge that sharing really is caring. Helping other people is part of human nature, and the purity of children proves it. If you drop something in front of a child and pretend you can't get it, the child will almost always pick it up for you, for instance. But sharing is also a major part of it. In one experiment, researchers placed children in a room with 2 food trays. Once the lids were lifted, one was revealed to have a sandwich on it, and the other was totally empty. Every single time the experiment was repeated, the child who ended up with the sandwich decided to share it. Number 12. Cars are now designed to keep dogs safe on hot days. Tesla owners can now leave their dog in the car, locked with the AC running, and a message will display on the large touchscreen saying, "My owner will be back soon," and features the temperature within the vehicle, to let all passerby know that your furry friend is safe, and not judge you. This is especially important given the 11 states, a number which is certain to only grow, that have now passed Good Samaritan laws to protect dogs in hot cars. Number 13. Human IQ is continually rising. The average American IQ gain is about 3 points every 10 years, or about 9 points every generation. Worldwide, average human intelligence has increased 20 points in the last 70 years. This is called the Flynn effect, named after the psychologist who first observed the phenomena. Better and easier access to resources and improved living conditions in developing countries have no doubt contributed to widespread education, which has allowed us to become smarter on the whole. Number 14. Doctors use superhero masks to help kids undergoing radiotherapy. Lubski Marskin, a play specialist in the children's unit of the St. James University Hospital in the United Kingdom, recognized how downright terrifying radiation masks, mummified-looking monstrosities that strap to a radiotherapy bed, are to children. Plus, they make many kids feel claustrophobic and uneasy. So Marskin came up with an idea: paint the masks to look like those of superheroes. As a result, children took to wearing them when they were able to choose who they wanted to be. Number 15. Dolphins are known to save people from sharks. There are hundreds of stories about human swimmers and surfers who end up in shark-infested waters, but make it out safely because of dolphins. Pods of dolphins have been known to surround humans in distress, keeping sharks away. There are several theories as to why this happens. Perhaps the adult dolphins are acting like parents defending their offspring, or perhaps the dolphins can recognize another mammal in trouble and act as they would if it were another dolphin. Regardless, many humans owe their lives to these intelligent sea creatures. Number 16. A baby in the womb helps heal the mother. We know that nutrients and blood are shared from mother to baby, but it's not a one-way street. If and when a mother experiences organ stress or other inner body injuries, fetal stem cells are sent to the sites for repair. What's more, fetal stem cells have proven to remain in the mother years after birth, and as reported by USA Today, the scientific community is starting to think such cells are helpful in the case of stressors later in life, such as stroke and heart attacks later in life. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our videos. Number 17. Goldfish can tell the difference between classical composers. Goldfish are often thought of as simple-minded creatures because of their incredibly short memory spans. But not only are they intelligent, apparently they're creatures of absolute class as well. In a study in Tokyo, Japan, Scientists trained goldfish to bite a bead if they heard classical composers, Johann Sebastian Bach or Igor Stravinsky. Then, they trained them to only bite when they heard one of the musicians. They found the goldfish were able to correctly distinguish between the two composers. Pretty impressive, right? Number 18. Mapmakers prevent plagiarism with fake cities. As useful as Google Maps can be, paper maps still have their place in the world, and mapmakers have a long tradition of putting copyright traps in their work to keep others from stealing it. This often takes the form of paper towns or phantom settlements, places that appear on maps but don't actually exist. However, there's at least one case of a paper town becoming real. Agloe, New York, was just such a phantom settlement. But when a general store was built in the corresponding location, the owner read the map and named it Agloe General Store, assuming that was the area's name. Number 19. More people have cell phones than toilets. According to a UN report from 2015, 2.5 billion of the world's 7 billion people lack access to a toilet, particularly in areas of South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. Since another report put the number of mobile phone users at 6 billion, that means more than twice as many people have phones as proper plumbing. This is not to say there are too many cell phones, but to say that we still have a long way to go when it comes to providing sanitation to everyone. Number 20. More dads are embracing the role of family hairstylist. Philippe Morges became a single father when his daughter Emma was just 1, without a clue of how to style her hair as it grew in. He struggled tremendously and realized after finally mastering the styling that there were definitely plenty of other dads in his position. So he created the Dads and Daughters Hair Workshop at a local beauty school. It became a hit, and since then, he has started his Daddy-Daughter Hair Factory community, which conducts completely free nationwide workshops and tutorials for dads just like him. Number 21. A NYPD officer went viral for buying boots for a barefoot homeless man. In November 2012, NYPD officer Lawrence DePrimo spotted a homeless man in Times Square, walking without shoes. He walked into a Skechers nearby, told the salesperson he was buying shoes for a homeless man, and the manager gave DePrimo his employee discount. Proof that paying it forward is real. A tourist from Arizona took a photo of the generous act and shared it on Facebook, where it soon earned hundreds of thousands of likes. DePrimo told the New York Times he has kept the receipt for the shoes in his vest since then, to remind him that sometimes people have it worse. Number 22. Vending machines in Istanbul allow you to feed stray dogs while saving the environment. Istanbul has over 15,000 stray dogs roaming the streets, but they don't have it so rough anymore. People strolling the streets have the option to feed and provide water for stray dogs with one of Pugiden's smart recycling boxes. The cost? 1 plastic bottle. Pugiden created these machines so that people could help their furry neighbors and save the environment. What could be better? Number 23. UK surgeon finds 27 missing contact lenses in woman's eye. A bluish mass of 27 contact lenses has been discovered in the eye of a patient who was scheduled for cataract surgery. The 67-year-old patient was unaware that the contact lenses were missing and later told surgeons that she thought her discomfort was due to dry eye and old age. The operating team, which included an ophthalmologist with more than 20 years of experience, was startled by the discovery. It was such a large mass. All the contact lenses were stuck together. We were really surprised that the patient didn't notice it because it would cause quite a lot of irritation while it was sitting there. Specialist trainee ophthalmologist Rupal Morjaria explained in an interview. The cataract surgery was postponed following the discovery due to an increased risk of endophthalmitis. Number 24. Retired engineers volunteered to clean up the Fukushima nuclear disaster. In a remarkably selfless act, 200 Japanese retirees all over the age of 60 offered to help manage the cleanup after the 2011 Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster so that younger people would not have to risk exposure to the radiation. "I probably have 13 to 15 years left to live," one 72-year-old engineer told the BBC. "Even if I were exposed to radiation, cancer could take 20 or 30 years or longer to develop. Therefore, us older ones have less chance of getting cancer." Number 25. Bats give birth upside down and catch their babies in their wings. There's a common misconception that bats are harmful, disease-ridden villains. But these mammals are actually helpful, loving creatures who protect the environment and save us from harmful insects. One extra adorable fact about bats is that they give birth to their babies upside down and catch them in their wings in a loving embrace. When they leave their cave, they can relocate their pup out of hundreds of bats just by its smell and the sound of its cry. Mama always knows best, right? Number 26. A hotel in Japan offered crying rooms for those who needed to let it all out. Crying in public is not socially acceptable in Japan. So in 2015, the now closed Mitsui Garden Hotel, Yotsuya in Tokyo, had a promotion for women to rent a crying room for about $83 per night. The rooms were filled with high-end tissues and makeup remover for the post-cry cleanup. They also offered a host of tearjerker movies to get the tears going. Though a lovely gesture, it was a bit sexist in nature. The deal was only available to women. Number 27. Women were once banned from smoking in public. In 1908, New Yorker Katie Mulcahy was arrested for striking a match against a wall and lighting a cigarette with it. Why? Because this was a violation of the Sullivan Ordinance, a city law banning women, and only women, from smoking in public. During her hearing at the district court, Mulcahy argued about her rights to smoke cigarettes in public. She was fined $5. 2 weeks later, the Sullivan Ordinance was vetoed by New York City's mayor. Number 28. Lyndon B. Johnson gave interviews from the bathroom. This, for lack of a better word, unapologetic president gave interviews while using the toilet. Presidential biographer Doris Kearns Goodwin describes the impetus. He just didn't want the conversation to stop. Number 29. Rain boot throwing is an international sport. While referring to rain boots as wellies is less common in the US, the British honor the 19th century Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wellesley, for the waterproof footwear he commissioned and brought into fashion. Nowadays, wellies are popular worldwide, for wearing of course, but also for sport. Some parts of the world have a traditional welly-wanging competition, where contestants line up to see how far they can throw one of these rain boots. The record is 44.97 meters, or a whopping 147.5 feet. Number 30. Expressing gratitude makes you feel happier. Research has found that when a person talks about how appreciative they are, they feel happy as well. In fact, compliments don't just make the person on the receiving end feel good, that also ricochets to the person giving the compliment. So what are you waiting for? Start saying nice things about people. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel for more fun videos.